If you have not joined the Makers Club, let me tell you what the Makers Club is. 3,000 creatives that are a part of not just the Patreon, but also the Discord. We have tons of crazy, talented people who constantly drop insane fire. And if you want to be able to cook up, create, make stuff, highly suggest you to cop a sample pack or cop something from my store, whether it be merch, whether it be clothes, whether it be music, whatever. Like, cop something. You will receive an email to your email of like the dopest community of creating and cooking up. Like, I guarantee you're gonna walk away with like some form of inspiration. So I just wanted to say that, and let's get back to it. Somebody asked me a question earlier in this stream and simply said, how doeth one flip samples? And I think that's a very interesting question to ask, simply because of the fact that flipping samples, there's so many ways you can do it. I think the technical aspects behind it, I think there's so many ways you can go about it that we tend to forget that sample flipping is truly about the art of taking one thing that has pre-existed and turning it and transitioning it into something brand new, something fresh. And so with that, I think it's safe to say we got to go back to the absolute basics before I go into plugins, before I go into anything about that. The sole purpose of chopping up a sample, okay? Think about the words I'm using. Chopping up a sample is to take one loop or a process of how many ever bars of a sample you want to use and give it a different perspective. And so there's many ways you can do this. I think the most elementary, simple way you can do it is to find a piece of a record and simply just loop it. Loop your favorite part. Now, what I'm about to bring up to you, because I just said chopping a sample, there's a philosophy that I learned about music and soloing, right? So the solo. What is a solo? And I'm pretty sure you guys have seen musicians solo over a body of music before and wonder, how in the world is this sticking, right? How is this working? Well, there is a video of George Duke talking about how you can solo over your work. And I'll show you guys, like, you know, in the Discord. I'll drop the link in the Discord if you guys want to watch it. But George Duke basically said, you have to find a format. Let's say, for instance, you're playing in a specific key, if you understand what keys are and if you understand what tones and notes are. If you're in the same key or the same note of a song you're playing, take the knowledge or the understanding of music that you already have, right? And break it up into pieces. So if you were to take a sample and chop it up, chop the sample up into pieces that you like. And so I'm going to show you guys a pretty general explanation of not only how to flip samples here in this moment, but also taking the sample and giving it a new perspective. Now, I just sat here for the last hour or so and made a complete sample from scratch, but also too, I've learned not to listen technically. Like, technically, what is something doing? I listen from the perspective of how something feels. So I'm gonna pull up the sample that we just made here on the stream called the Verdant Circuit. And I'm gonna pull it up here. Let's see here. Ableton Live, and boop, here we go. So I'm gonna drag the sample in so you guys can see what I'm working with over here. So check this out. This is the sample. So yeah, this is the sample that we just made. And we're gonna listen to it really thoroughly. got drums. All right, so just by purely listening, if you can list off all the individual pieces that you heard, I hear this kalimba or repeated pattern of a sound that repeats constantly throughout it. So that's one part in essence that repeats throughout it. So you can utilize certain bits and pieces, but the whole point of chopping samples, right? There's so many ways to do it. I'm gonna show you guys the song arrangement session view of how to approach this. Break it up into pieces. Like break up the parts of the song that you like, or break up parts of the song that you're into. We can worry about separating the elements later, but you have to break it down into parts that you like. So I'm really big. I love both of those pieces. So let's go ahead and separate those. To separate on Ableton, just hit Command Y. Well, Command T. My bad. Command. Let's see here. Oh, my bad. Command T, creating the track. So, I think Command. Oh, man, I'm forgetting this right now. How in the world I forget? All right, redo. Yeah, Command E. Command E splits the track, okay? So if you split a track, you can separate all the different elements. Whenever I go through processes of separating samples and bits and pieces, I'll just simply go through a whole sample and just separate everything into smaller pieces. The reason why I say separating things into smaller pieces is simply because if you separate into smaller pieces, you can chew on those easier versus a long loop. You can use a long loop, but break it down into pieces, bite-sized pieces, aka preparation. You got to prepare to flip samples. You just don't flip the sample, which you can. It's just a matter of understanding what you're using. So I like this element. That alone is cool. This is cool. I like that part, and I like this part too. I love all those elements. Now, I know it plays the bass line parts over here too. I was a really big fan of this part here. So hear this. I love this. That can be its own thing too. I like that too. That's cool. Now, when it comes to sampling, like sampling a sample, you don't have to sample all parts of the song. You just have to sample the parts that stand out to you. So it really comes down to listening and preparing what you're trying to use. I like this. Yep. I love how open these drums are, and I'll tell you exactly why. We're literally just gonna break it down into pieces. Now, this is the part that I think is gonna be uncovering the overwhelming part. Sampling can easily become overwhelming. It could be overwhelming if you don't know what you're looking for. Because I think what happens is people just start chopping up stuff and they're like, I don't know what I want to do with certain elements. And honestly, at this very moment, I'm not quite sure what I want to do with all these elements. What I do know is everything that I'm finding right now, I like. And the more you can decipher what you like versus what you don't like, it can make your options much more easier. So I'm hearing two things that I like. I like that part too. And everything else is kind of like, I'm cool. I like to take the tail end of things. Cool. Now let's go ahead and delete everything we don't need. So see all these giant blocks? Like here, boom. Don't need that. Don't need that, don't need that. Break it down into bite-sized pieces. Like, think about if you consume food, right? You're not going to consume an entire steak. You're going to sit there and cut the steak into pieces that can be easily digested. That way, you can go to certain elements, and this is why I suggest doing it this way. I would simply select, hit loop selection, and see which one you like. Hearing the parts by themselves start creating different ideas. So I'll tell you the exact reason why I'm separating all these other ones. So I hear drums in the separation of these last two. Plus, we also got these other elements over here too. I love that. I love that. I love those parts. Those parts are great. I love that. And even this too. All these elements are easily separatable. And yeah, I think ultimately this is what it comes down to, right? When you separate these elements, you have to allow the music to give you direction. A lot of the times, and this is usually the big issue that makes people very overwhelmed with making music, is that what decision do I make? What option do I choose? The thing about music is if you give yourself many different options, you won't have a bad choice. It's just a matter of picking what you like and choosing a lane. It's a really go with the flow situation, but the flow is what you like. What you like. And I think that needs to be the bar that you utilize to approach any kind of sampling. Anything you guys see me do from here on out is purely just, what does Kaelin like? What does Kaelin like? And usually what I like shows itself. That is the direction I go in. I never just, follow the feeling of what you like. If you like shorter bits, if you like cutting things up, go down that route. Because there's no wrong choice. There really isn't. So with that being said, I think I'm going to take this one. I'm going to loop this. Repitch this. I'm hearing like a whole rhythm. That's kind of crazy. Hold up. I'm gonna slow it down too. All right. Now I got these other elements too. So I was also as well. I'm just kind of humming around and seeing like, what do I like? I don't necessarily like that sample, so I'm gonna just deactivate it. I'm gonna duplicate this track, this entire track. I'm gonna just loop this part over and over again, just because I like that kalimba energy on it. Ooh, wait a second. Take what you like and just start separating it. And I think whatever I pitch this to, I'm going to apply that to everything else. Let your compass be your intuition. And I think we don't utilize it enough. Our intuition can literally guide us to the right decision. -6. -6. 26. 26. Ooh. Make a new track. Whoa. Wait a second. Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait. Ooh. That's kind of tough. Hold up. That again. This is me kind of like coming up with my own stuff right now. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the warping and just kind of instinctively go from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. I need one more. I'm gonna duplicate that twice too. I'll make sure I roll off a little high of that. I like being able to layer the stuff. Got these other elements over here too. Now, what do I do with this? What do I do with all this? I have this too, and I could, of course, go and just utilize it. But no. Let me show you a little trick. People often forget about this with old school music and samples that have been like pan left, pan right. I'm gonna show you a little something that allows you to be able to salvage drum sound, basically any drum sound for that matter. So, okay, so we're gonna need to use our ears for this, okay? We're gonna need to use our ears for this next thing. I'm gonna have to hit my left and my right because I realize they're opposite right now. So, check this out. Hear the drums. Those snares are kind of like on the right side, right? So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to go to the width. The utility. It's in the KFX rack. It's sitting on the channel. And I'm going to go to the right channel. And all I'm going to simply do is turn off the width. Now, here's something that people tend to forget about drums. The way drum samples were created in the very beginning of sampling, when they were making all these DAWs and all these programs, people would literally sit with a program and cut the individual peaks of a sample. Look at this. So see this? That's one. That's another one. And this is another one. I could take all of this and make that its own individual sound. Now check this out. We're going to go here, separate them. And personally, this is literally it. Check this out. Take the fade and watch what happens. Watch. Literally, that's just grabbing what I liked. And I'll tell you, there's even more too. There's even more. I had another sample over here too. Over here too, hi-hats. You can break pieces up, break it up. And the more that you break it up, the more you will find these little nuggets of things that you did not hear before. Purely. I like that. That's another hi-hat hit. I could take that. And so you could chop up and flip samples in any way you would like, but allow your intuition to go there, okay? And this is what I'm gonna do. And plus two, we also have the plugins that allow you to stem things out. So you could separate this and create your own fine chops. I like that tom. I like that kick. I like that. I like that. All these individual hits. And we just slowly put a little fade on it. Look at this. Look at this. It slowly create the. And now I'm gonna just shorten this a little bit. Just cause. Now what's funny about all this is this. This is before any plugins get involved. I'm gonna consolidate that. I'm gonna consolidate this. Consolidate this. And what consolidating it does, it turns it into its own track. Its own like clip. So check this out. A lot of people forget about this. A lot of people forget about this. Check this out. Let's go back to the sample. Let's go back to the sample, right? Current project, sample, process, consolidate. Crazy, right? Now I can just go back over here and just start adding stuff in and allow my imagination to go wild. So yeah, that is how you can chop up and flip samples. And it's really just a matter of how far do you want to break things down. Like that literally is what separates like the really creative folks to like the not as creative folks. And there's literally people who will sit for hours, find their favorite records, chop the thing they like, and that's what they use. It's a matter of how far your brain is willing to go with chopping and flipping samples. So I'm over here just kind of, I kind of like that Tom. Ooh. I need a 16th on that. Yeah. Take it a little back, a little farther back. And that's just kind of have fun with it. To have fun, have as much fun you want. That's what I need. And if you wanted to make it like mono, like you can. You don't have to have all your drums in the center. No one said you had to. It's just most common that that's how people do it. But the more you can variate your sounds and keep them in like a order, and I think that's really it. It doesn't have to be a certain way. Oh, this is crazy. Hold up. Oh, wait a second. This is kind of crazy. Hold up. Roll up the lows. This is kind of crazy. Hold up. I'll go like this. And don't worry about like certain things being out of key or not. Like, just try it out. Try it out and see how you like it. And this is how about trial and error. See what works and what doesn't. Now I'm gonna go to the kick. Now the kick is a little bit weak. Now here's the cool thing about this. There's so many ways you can approach it. You can choose to keep going down this route. If you're really adamant about using this and you want to use it, you can literally sit with one sound and turn it into things. That's why I love Ableton, because they have instruments that allow you to be able to turn things into things. I kind of want kick medium. Yeah. Ooh. I'm gonna do one more thing too. Go back to the drums. I hear one more thing with the drums. One more thing. I'm gonna try one more thing. Let me hit the knock plugin. Knock plugin instead. Wait a second. Hold up. My favorite thing I loved doing back then in the day, I would just... This is crazy. Hold up. This is crazy. Yep. This is going to be crazy. Once I get this, this is going to be crazy. Hold on. Drop it out. I'm gonna drop it out. Hold up, hold up. Drop it out. No kick in the beginning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. about, bro? What did we just stumble upon? That is silly. Hold on. With the chords. And I think that'll be it for tonight after this. This is crazy. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. This is great. This is great. This is great. This is great. And I don't have to play any more keys. I already done played keys. You really can like... I'm gonna delete this real quick. That's +6. I'm gonna reverse that. Yeah, that's it. Smooth this all over. Search high and low. She couldn't find nobody. Search high and low. That's what I'm talking about. Duplicate this. Drop it an octave down. Yeah, this is crazy. This has been fun, y'all. This has been very fun to just make this stuff live here on the stream. We'll make one more adjustment. If I told y'all what the original sample was, you wouldn't believe me. You probably wouldn't believe me at all. Appreciate you, Dad, son. Oh my gosh. Let me add a little tambourine. A little tambourine, a little chum. Just a little chum. Tam. House. I love using like, I just need to get those. GD. Just loop these. Yep. A house tambourine and just. saving it. This is it. That's it, y'all. I appreciate y'all vibing out with your boy.